August 1st, 2025, Phnom Penh. I'm Jesse McCall here from the studio of Tor Young News, and going to bring you some updates of what's been happening here in Cambodia, in particular with the recent border conflict between Cambodia and Thailand. I want to start by bringing out a few perspectives that I believe are essential for all of our international viewers to grasp hold of. First of all, it's essential to understand that at times there has been a self-righteous attitude coming across through some of the narratives coming out of Thailand. And with this, these self-righteous attitudes, they come across like this. We're here in Thailand, we're a more developed economy, and therefore we are more civilized, and therefore we would never dream of doing anything wrong. And it must be the smaller economies and the less developed countries that are in the wrong. This narrative you will find is very prevalent in much of the news that is coming out of Bangkok and coming out of Thailand. And I would encourage you to not grab or grasp that narrative, but to look at every perspective and dig into what's actually happening. I also want to paint this picture here. This is very important to understand that Cambodia has the very recent deep wounds of war and conflict. These are fresh wounds, these are deep wounds, and these are wounds that have a lot of negative memories to them. And when Cambodia says we have a long-lasting commitment to peace, it is very heartfelt and it is very genuine, because Cambodia understands the pain of conflict and of war and even of genocide, and has an absolute national commitment to never go back to those days. Right here in the middle of Phnom Penh, you'll find the melted guns and weapons with a pistol with a knot tied in the middle. Right here in the center of Phnom Penh, I remember when that statue was erected saying, we're not going back to those days. Unfortunately, because of politics next door in Bangkok, and maybe people who don't have the same type of wounds that we have here in Cambodia of war, they have made decisions and stirred up and provoked these issues that they have provoked this conflict. And it's very unfortunate and it's very painful for the Cambodian people. So today, August 1st, Thailand handed over 2 of the 18 soldiers that had been held captive. There were a total of 20 soldiers that were captured by the staged handshake, let's be friends situation that happened a couple days ago. And now 2 of these soldiers have been returned. 16 of them remain in captivity according to the Thai news, so that they can be questioned further. I have no idea what they need to be questioned about. I thought we had a ceasefire, and I thought that Thailand was abiding by international law, but for some reason they need to question 16 of them further. The 2 that were returned today, one of them with a broken arm, one of them with a concussion. And I won't say too much, but there are concerning signs and physical features on them as they're being returned that are very worrying. And maybe tomorrow we can go into more detail regarding that. We also received 2 corpses of those 20 soldiers that were tricked and captured by an ambush when Thai soldiers said, hey, there's a ceasefire. This is all happening after the ceasefire. 2 of those corpses, and on one of those corpses there's also very troubling signs, and maybe at a different time we can go into more detail, but what looked like just cold-blooded murder after their capture. And it's very concerning that there are still 16 soldiers, Cambodian soldiers, that were ambushed and tricked after the ceasefire that are being held for quote-unquote further questioning. We, of course, our hearts and our prayers go out to all of them, including the 2 that were just returned, and we will hear their stories. And we will hear the whole story of what has been happening in this situation. Okay, some other happenings here in Cambodia. We received news of the trade relationship between the United States and between Canada. United States is Cambodia's largest export partner, so we have been eagerly awaiting the results of this, and the tariffs are now at a 19% tariff between Cambodia to the United States for importing into the United States and across the country, from Prime Minister Samdech Tapade Hun Manait to President of the Senate, former Prime Minister Samdech Techo Hun Sein, to Deputy Prime Minister Upat Niyomantri Sun Chantal. Everyone has been very appreciative of the good relationship, good working relationship, good discussions and negotiations with the United States. Deputy Prime Minister Sun Chantal said Cambodia is requesting that a Nobel Peace Prize be given for President of the United States, Donald Trump, who made very significant efforts to end the fighting between Cambodia and Thailand. And like I said, President of the Senate, former Prime Minister Samdech Techo Hun Sein, Prime Minister of Cambodia, Samdech Tapade Hun Manait, everyone are expressing their appreciation towards the President of the United States, Donald Trump, for the good negotiations and a acceptable and favorable tariff for exporting to the United States. And it's also interesting to mention that tariffs for importing U.S. products into the Cambodian market are at 0%. And so this is a unique opportunity for those of you that are in the United States. There's a lot of Cambodian Americans that are in the United States right now, and a very interesting opportunity to look at importing some good quality U.S. products into the Cambodian market. Very, very welcomed under these current circumstances. So these are just some of the happenings that have been happening right now. But I want to go back to the 2 things I said at the beginning. And also stress this again. The international news agencies, their regional headquarters, most of them are based in Bangkok. And we need free, fair, and unbiased news reporting on Cambodia. We invite you to come to Cambodia to get the whole story. Secondly, don't fall for the narrative, which I will call personally a self-righteous narrative of, hey, we're more developed than you, we have bigger economy than you, and so how could we be wrong? Whilst there are wonderful people in every nation, including, of course, in Thailand, but unfortunately, this current situation was instigated and initiated by certain factions out of Thailand that have caused this issue, and there are some factions that would desire to prolong it as well. In Cambodia, with the fresh wounds of war and conflict and genocide from not too long ago, still this generation remembers it very well, are saying, no, we are a country of peace. And I believe that the international community will see that Cambodia's commitment to the international law, to third-party mediation. Third-party mediation, what a wonderful thing. Meaning, hey, if we're wrong, tell us that we're wrong. We're happy to hear through third-party mediation that we are wrong if we're wrong. And this is Cambodia's stance from the get-go, that we're ready to abide by international law, third-party mediation. Just want to again exemplify the national unity that Cambodia has enjoyed for many years. We don't have factions and infighting. Our people want to live our lives and avoid any conflict like this, and the last thing that we want is for this conflict to be prolonged. So we will have many more important updates coming for you here soon. I also want to mention that that there has been some very positive feedback from around the world, Cambodians around the world, as well as citizens of the world that have expressed their appreciation for some of the English language updates, and we will continue to do that for you. Again, dig into the facts, have informed perspectives, and for the international news, come to Cambodia to get the whole story. All right, signing off from Phnom Penh on August 1st, 2025. Wishing everyone a great August ahead of us, a wonderful weekend ahead of us as well. We'll talk to you more tomorrow.
ត្រយ៉ងនាំសារពិតគ្រប់ទីកន្លែង